All right, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Dude Plays here, back with some more Steam Machine updates, Steam Machine verified requirements, and more news. Before we get into this, don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Socials are in the description, and let's get into it.
Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video here to talk all about the Steam Machine, as we've got some new insight on it coming from Game Developer as far as some of the thought processes on the Steam Machine. I know this is a device that a lot of people aren't completely sold on. I'm not completely sold on it either because, it just really comes down to your expectations on this machine. I really don't think at least this entry for the Steam Machine, I could see it evolve over time and updated models and things of that nature, ultimately becoming a real competitor in the console space, so to speak, as well. I just don't see this one being that. However,
All right, he says it's not worth it for him. That's fine. Everybody's entitled to their preferences. The computer that I'm on right now is a RTX 3050 mobile graphics card, 4 gigabytes of video memory, 16 gigs of RAM, an 11800H processor. The CPU is pretty good. The GPU is entry level. It's kind of showing its age now. I need something more powerful. And the Steam frame is definitely more powerful than my laptop. Really, what I need is a desktop. I need to. If I lived in the US, I'd buy one, but I don't. So we'll sort that out eventually. But I definitely want one. The only roadblock I have with the Steam Machine is I'm not concerned about the power. It's pretty small for what it is. It's pretty powerful for what it is. 9.6 teraflops. It's a little weaker than the PS5. And look at the size. I've been having a pretty good time with the Steam Deck. Now imagine a machine that's 6 times more powerful than that graphically. I'm gonna have a blast. The top of the line games like God of War, Ragnarok, Cyberpunk, Spider-Man 2, that shit is so hard to run on Steam Deck. That and God of War, 6 times the performance, I'll be fine. I'm definitely getting that. The only drawback is the Steam OS and the anti-cheat games. That's it. And I mean, you could install Windows on it and mitigate those issues, but I really do like SteamOS, so I'm going to stick with that.
Usability and accessibility is certainly going to be a part of this machine, and Steam Machine verified requirements will have fewer constraints than Steam Deck, says Valve. If your title is verified on Steam Deck, it'll be verified on Steam Machine, which I feel like that goes without saying, given that the machine, Steam Machine that is, will be considerably more powerful than the Deck. But as noted on Game Developer, as interest in Valve's recently announced Steam Machine continues to swirl, developers have had plenty of reason to wonder what will be needed to attract players' interest on the platform. While the company still hasn't released pricing info for the Steam OS-based hardware, it has shed some light on its verification process in a new interview with Game Developer. According to Valve designer Lawrence Yang, developers hoping for a Steam Machine Verified badge can expect fewer constraints than Steam Deck verification. One easy rule.
Which makes perfect sense because the Steam Deck is the Steam Machine is way more powerful than the Steam Deck. So for the games that had issues with performance, those are going to be verified because the hardware is just that much more powerful. So now it's really only going to be an issue of anti-cheat and I guess input popping up, the keyboard popping up, stuff like that, because some games needed to log in and all of that with the launches. Ubisoft, EA, yes, I'm talking about you guys. Rockstar as well. So yeah, that.
Verified on Steam Deck, it'll be verified on Steam Machine. Yang continued, VR developers seeking Steam frame verification may expect a different process. The Deck verification badge has proven to be more than a mere quality assessor. And the thing about games getting Deck verified and Deck playable, they are not always the most ideal barometer as far as whether or not a game will be, maybe it'll be ran on the Deck. However, there are games that have come out that have gotten the verification tag, and let's just say they haven't been the best as far as how they perform.
Spider-Man 2, I think that's what he was just about to say.
Verified label for a while, and then it got pulled.
Yeah,
from
I have that.
The verified label. I don't know if it ultimately got the verified label back, but I remember when I saw Spider-Man 2 was Deck verified.
It did. It did.
Doing here. It is now Deck verified once again, but for a little bit it was pulled.
Okay, yeah, he just said it. I was gonna show it on my Steam Deck
It's a
screen,
software
but he just
obviously
said
did
it.
a
All right,
lot
let's
to,
continue.
improve that game, and I can only speak on some of my experiences with specific games. I remember Horizon Zero Dawn, that game being deck verified as well, and it still is deck verified, and it's just not running very well. Dead Space Remake is another one where that game is deck verified, and I've heard a lot of issues with that game. And deck verification, I don't think, is the only thing you should be looking at if you're a deck owner, and in the case of the Steam Machine, I think that'll be the case, a case as well. It honestly comes down to, with the developers, optimization, and I do think they'll try to optimize for the Steam Machine, but I don't think they're going to optimize for the Steam Machine to the level that they do, let's say, the PlayStation 5.
I mean, of course, yeah, because at the end of the day, the Steam Machine is a PC. PC games have to run on a multitude of hardware systems, whereas the PS5 is just one custom, tailor-made system. Every PS5 has identical hardware in it. So, way more optimization tricks can be done on that system. So yeah, that makes perfect sense. I don't think anybody was ever
Valve's
disputing
goal
that.
ultimately is to create a machine that just works, which is very much what consoles are, or at least that's what consoles are promoted as, and that's why I think a lot of people gravitate towards consoles, because generally speaking, more so than PC, I feel it is a plug-and-play box. I know that there are always going to be the arguments about being like, oh, consoles now you have to install the game, you have to do updates. Yes, I do feel like it's less so plug-and-play than it was before, but as somebody that does still primarily game on PC, I feel like consoles are still the more accessible experience for the large majority of consumers, and in the case of the Steam Machine, that could offer an avenue for PC, or Valve at least, to have a machine that does the similar types of things that consoles are known to do. Now, obviously, when it comes to the Steam Machine, the key element of all of this is the price point. I really do believe that Valve is going to do a pretty good job of making it a plug-and-play kind of box. I feel like there's going to be a lot of the elements of what is appreciated about console gaming with the Steam Machine. However, what is the Steam Machine really for? And that is where I think there's going to be some issues as far as what the ceiling is. And I think Valve knows that this machine is going to have a ceiling. I think some people looking from the outside and having these theories as far as, oh my god, Steam Machine's going to be a real competitor in the console space, I don't think Valve even sees this machine as something like that. I think this is a great accessory box if you already have a gaming PC and you already have.
See, that's another thing too. I don't have a gaming PC. My laptop technically is, but this thing's getting old now. Granted, I'm not gonna buy the Steam Machine until I'm in like America or Canada or wherever I go this year. But yeah, definitely, it's a companion PC for sure. And to be honest, if it ended up costing more, I feel like I would just get the PC. But then there's the issue of transporting that through the plane and customs and all of that. Yeah, that's an issue. Because imagine fitting the PC in your suitcase and...
I think that's where something like the Deck was really great as well, but the Deck is a handheld device where I think a handheld device really acts as a complementary device to your main gaming rig anyway. The machine is going to be something that, yeah, you might have your desktop PC in your bedroom, but you might want a machine in the living room as well that you can utilize. I feel like for a lot of people, that's where the benefits of the Steam Machine are really going to come in, because before, if you wanted a handheld device, a lot of people would go out and they would buy like a Nintendo Switch, because the other options for handheld PC gaming, they were really, really expensive. The Deck offered at least a somewhat accessible entry point into handheld gaming, but you also got to carry over your entire Steam library. Nobody's trying to buy like a Nintendo Switch to go alongside their PC gaming.
Yeah, what he's saying about the Switch too, I wasn't actually saying Switch 2, I mean Switch 2 as in TOO. But yeah, anywho. I'm so deep into PC gaming and Steam sales and cloud saves and all of that stuff. And that's not to say that consoles don't have that. I'm not even buying games on my PlayStation anymore. I'm buying stuff on Steam and playing it on my Steam Deck or laptop. I'm not trying to pay full price for a Nintendo Switch 2 port and a subpar experience. I'll stick to Steam and get a better handheld as time goes by. The next one I'm hoping will be the Xbox Ally X.
To then rebuy games like Hades and Bastion and all these games they already own on Steam. Nobody's trying to do that. So when you can carry over the Steam library, I think that is what offers you a gigantic amount of value more than anything else. But I don't think the Steam machine is going to be priced as something that's going to be super competitive in the console space as well. In the sense of, okay, it's gonna be $500 and okay, it's gonna offer performance at the level of the PS5, or, you know, by the time this thing comes out, you know, later this year, we're gonna start talking about the PlayStation 6. I know that there are rumblings of the PlayStation 6 getting pushed into 2028, 2029, but before you know it, a couple of years are gonna go by and the PS6 is gonna be out, and then it comes down to what's the PlayStation 6 gonna be priced at and what's Valve at that point. But I think
he's saying pushed back like it should be released now. No, nobody should be see anything PS6 related until 2030 because it doesn't even feel like there's 50 PS5 games yet. It doesn't.
The main thing I would say is just keep your expectations of the Steam machine in check about what this machine is actually going to be. I don't believe it's going to be something that Valve is even looking at this stage of the game to offer a real console competitor. I think what it is it's another platform that if this fits the criteria for you individually and you're already within the PC gaming ecosystem, it's going to offer you more value in that ecosystem. But in terms of drawing people into that ecosystem, I just don't think that's going to be the case, especially because I don't see this being priced at south of $500 and, you know, the PlayStation 5 digital.
It's not going to be priced at 500. Linus asked about it to the Valve team and they were dead silent. I don't expect something like that to be 500. Granted, yes, I know it's slightly less powerful than the PS5, and the PS5 is you can find for less than 500. But it is a PC, it has way more functionality. So there's also that. And the fact that it has there's a 2 terabyte model and then there's a 512. Never mind. It's a PC.
Right now, so you know, there is that element. Now, the big thing this is going to have is you don't have to pay to play online, which is huge, but I just don't think a lot of people that are, like, super casuals, they're going to comprehend that idea of the value that they would get on the back end by not having to pay to play online, which might sound crazy to you, but I really do believe that's going to be the case. And you have to think about, guys, like the Maddens of the world, the Fortnites, those are the games that a lot of people are drawn to for consoles. A lot of the times it's not, you know, God of War and Ghosts of Yota and games of that ilk. So, you know, that's something to consider as well. But I am interested to
anti-cheat.
I'm excited for the Steam machine, but I also have my expectations relatively in check as far as what this machine is going to be. And I think it's going to be a great complementary device for those of you that already have a decent PC, or you appreciate other factors of PC gaming outside of just raw power, because I think when this thing's price point comes out, and if you compare it raw power to raw power on the PlayStation 5, it's not going to be this blow-away platform. At least I don't believe it is, but we'll see how all of that turns out. That'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. As always, let me know.
Another thing too that I forgot to say. What did I forget to say? Yeah, anything PS5 is able to handle, I think this will too. Even if you have to turn settings down to 720p. But yeah, it's 9.1 teraflops. 9.6, my bad. They said 6 times the power. They said more than 6, actually. Well, let's stick with a baseline of 6. It's 9.6. The Steam Deck is 1.6 teraflops on the GPU. The CPU in the Steam frame, in the Steam machine is actually more powerful than the one in the PS5. So, it has a superior CPU. So, that's out of the question. The GPU is 9.6 gigaflops. The Steam Deck is not 1.6. 1.6, yeah. So 1.6 times 6 is 9.6. This thing will be able to run PS5 level games. I mean, the deck already does at lowest settings, Ratchet & Clank. Spider-Man 2 is barely running. I actually have it playing right here. So imagine 6 times the horsepower with a better CPU to match. We're good. I'll be able to play what I want.
Catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Alright, that's pretty much the end of the video. Let's see what the comment section people are saying. I wish Valve would hurry up and release it. I just want that controller. I'm only excited for the controller. I'm sold on it, ordering it day one. I'm buying one. There's so much tech I need to buy. I need to upgrade my phone. This is the 12 Pro Max. I was thinking of getting the 817 or the 18. I kind of want an iPad, but I don't really need one. I need a new PC for content creation purposes. Oh man, I need to go hard. I really do. So much stuff to buy. Anywho, let's see what the comment says. I think bro missed a stat where Valve knows around 70% of their user base has a comparable or weaker machine. It will be an upgrade for a lot of people. Yeah, it's definitely an upgrade for me. I already saved 2,000. I'm just waiting for the pre-order. You're insane. Yeah, I'm definitely want one. Hopefully SteamOS anti-cheat is fixed in the next few years. I'm only hoping the Steam frame and the Steam machine will just expand SteamOS's market share even more, and that will get us closer to the dream of anti-cheat games. And then when that's fixed, we literally don't need anything else. So then a lot of people will just leave Windows alone. Alright guys, that's it. That's the end of the video. I'm gonna head out now. See y'all in the next one. Goodbye.